What's good, YouTube? It's Nas, and we back with another video. Road to 300 subscribers, of course. And in today's video, I'm just gonna be talking about James Harden. And James Harden is really not really talked about as one of the pioneers of this game, I would say. Yes, James Harden is one of the best players in the 2010s and the 2020s, but his 2019 season is overshadowed because not 2019, 2018, because I saw some shit where Brian Windhorst, the fat person, no, let's not say that, the analyst on ESPN, he was talking about how he would give James Harden's MVP to LeBron James that season, which, yes, LeBron was the best player of the year, best player for a couple of years, but James Harden full and honestly deserved his MVP. Like, he should have really had more MVPs when you think about it, because it was always some reason why he didn't get the MVP. One year, I'm pretty sure it was 2015 because the Warriors were first place. 2017, it was obviously because Westbrook got a triple-double. I'm not going to argue that. 2019, he could have won it most points, but Giannis won it because of a record. 2020, he could have won it. So why are you going to take away James Harden's MVP when he fully deserved it? But we're just going to talk about Houston James Harden, because why not? I made a versus video, but I never made a video about James Harden by himself. I should probably do that. But in his first season in Houston, 2012-2013 season, he averaged 26 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. It showed why the Thunder made a huge mistake, and he was an all-star his first season, played 78 games. In the 2013-14 season, he averaged 25.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. In the 2013-14 season, he was like an all-star again. He was an all-star starter because Kobe Bryant ended up getting injured, so that just showed major improvement. In the 2014-15 season, when he made the leap to an MVP caliber player, he averaged 27.5 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, and 7 assists. This was when he was still playing with Dwight Howard, and this James Harden was explosive. He was crafty. He could do basically everything on the court. And this is when they were knocking him for his defense. Like, I hope y'all remember when they was making fun of James Harden as a defender. Yes, rightly so. James Harden used to just let people go by him. But to disrespect James Harden, like, when he wouldn't want to strap down, he couldn't strap down. Because in Oklahoma City, we saw him play defense when he was the sixth man. He was actually trying. In Houston, he was the offensive load. He carried such a high offensive load, so he didn't have to do that. In the 2015-16 season, another James Harden career year, he averaged 29.6 rebounds and 7.5 assists. Obviously, we're not seeing the assist numbers yet, but this was when the Rockets got rid of Dwight Howard, and they tried the new experiment with letting James Harden just lead the show, and there was no help there. In the 2016-17 season, he averaged 29 points, 8 rebounds, and 11 assists. You see when the assists went to go up, this was when he came second to Russell Westbrook, where another season where he could have won MVP. So it doesn't really make sense to knock it, because imagine giving LeBron that MVP and James Harden not finishing with any MVPs for these seasons. It just makes no sense whatsoever, and whoever the voters are should be fired if James Harden didn't end up with an MVP once in a while. Because if you want to be realistic, his MVP season's not even better than his next couple seasons. Really, not this season at all. In the 2017-18 season, when he won MVP, he averaged 30.5 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, and 8 assists. 8.5 assists, basically 9. When they got Chris Paul and they were on track to beat the Warriors, and when you really watch the game, they're talking about the Rockets missed 27 threes. Really, go back and go watch that game or the highlights. The Rockets are getting fouled a lot, and the Warriors are getting away with a lot of moving screen calls, which are only called against the Warriors, or that Warriors team. I'm pretty sure now they still do moving screens, but it only gets called against them. They only got called against the Rockets, and obviously that led to them losing that series, not just the 27 missed threes, because I saw a fucking clip where James Harden did his usual step back. He didn't even foul bait, and Jordan Bell literally ran over him, and they didn't call a foul. So what the hell, what was doing that? What is doing that for? Like, it just looked like that game was just rigged for the Warriors. I don't want to sound like a Warriors hater, but just go rewatch it, because I'm not going to keep talking about that. But that was his MVP season. And the next season, the 2018-19 season, he followed that up with 36 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 7.5 assists, a higher scoring average, The assists are down by literally 1, so it just showed that he was an all-around player, all-around better player this season. So I don't know. And 2019 was his best season, because shit. Like 2018, let's just do 2018-19. Like those 2 seasons were when he was having tour dates. Literally, he was having tour dates. March 22nd, 2019, he had 61. January 23rd, 2019, he has 61. November 30th, 2019, he has 60. January 30th, 2018, he had 60. October 30th, 2019, he had 59. I could just keep going, but just look up the stats for yourself. We all know how good Houston James Harden was. In the 2019-20 season, when he was joined by Russell Westbrook, he averaged 34 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 7.5 assists. He came third in MVP voting that season, behind LeBron James, behind Giannis. He could have won it there, but we're not going to even go there. Obviously, this was really his last season in Houston. I'm not going to count the 2020-2021 season, but even if we do, he played 8 games, and he averaged basically 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 10.5 assists. This is when he fully moved to the point guard position. He was no longer a shooting guard trying to get those buckets anymore. He was trying to get his teammates involved. And when he went to Brooklyn in the 2020-2021 season, he had one of his best seasons. He averaged 24.5 points per game, 8.5 rebounds, and 11 assists. I'm pretty sure he was like 5th or 6th in MVP voting, and he made the Nets way better. Like, if I can remember correctly, they went on a winning streak without KD and Kyrie that season, led by James Harden, and he was just doing everything in his power to lead the Nets. And it's too bad KD's foot was on the line, and James Harden pretty much tore his hammy, because he was really never the same. Like he wasn't even now, he's not as explosive as he was before then. Let's just keep it above. Look up his first season in Brooklyn. But in the 2021-2022 season, he ended up playing 1.5 seasons with Brooklyn. He averaged 22.5 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists. Played 44 games, 2021-2022. He went to Philly. He averaged 21 points, 7 rebounds, and 10.5 assists. He was the backcourt, him and Maxey. They were still developing Maxey, and I still don't know why Daryl Morey just didn't pay James Harden. You see where the 76ers are now without James Harden, so it's obviously Daryl Morey's fault. I just don't understand it. In the 2022-2023 season, he averaged 21.6 rebounds and 10.5 assists. His last season in Philly, he didn't even want to leave Philly if Daryl Morey would have paid him his money. But in the 2022-2024 and the 2023-2024 season, he averaged 16.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 8.5 assists. A down season from James Harden perspective, but now James Harden looks like the James Harden of the past. He's averaging 22 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 8.5 assists. So it just showed that it's showing James Harden's longevity. Let's just say that, because James Harden has been going off for the last couple games. Miami, March 12th, he had 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 11 assists. March 11th, against the New Orleans Pelicans, he had 25 points, 4 rebounds, and 17 assists. March 9th, against the Kings, he had 29 points, 9 rebounds, and 11 assists. March 7th, against the Knicks, he had 27 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists. March 5th, against Detroit, he had 50 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. Prime James Harden game, let's just say that. And on March 4th, against Phoenix, he had 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 15 assists. So he's just been on a tear recently, and hopefully he can keep it up. The Clippers are in playoff contention right now. Obviously, it's a dogfight to get into the playoffs. And if James Harden keeps playing like this, he's just showing why he's one of the best players in NBA history. And he's a top 3 shooting guard of all time. And he even switched his position. So that should just show how good James Harden is at the game of basketball. But let me know how y'all feel about James Harden, all his eras, all the teams he's been on. Just comment below. Subscribe. I got some videos right here. If you enjoyed this video you just watched, video on the right and video on the left, and click on it.